Dear students, today in basic physics we are going to know about friction. When two surfaces are in contact with each other, then there exists a resistance force which reduces the relative motion between them is known as friction. Friction is the resistance to motion of one object moving relative to another. It is not a fundamental force like gravity or electromagnetism. Instead, scientists believe it is the result of the electromagnetic attraction between charged particles in two touching surfaces. So, friction is a force, that is, friction is the opposing force or resistive force to the relative motion between the two bodies in contact with each other. There are several causes for this friction. The causes of this resistive force are molecular adhesion, surface roughness, and deformation. Now, we discuss the causes in detail. First one is molecular adhesion. When two objects are brought into contact, many atoms or molecules from one object are in such close proximity to those in the other object that molecular or electromagnetic forces attract the molecules of the two materials together. This force is called adhesion, or the attraction forces between the different molecules of the two substances are known as adhesion forces of attraction. So trying to slide one object across the other requires breaking these adhesive bonds. Adhesion is the essence of friction. Second reason for causing the friction may be considered as surface roughness. All the solid materials are not smooth and they have some degree of surface roughness. If you looked at what seems to be a smooth surface under high powered microscope, you would see bumps, hills, and valleys that could interfere with sliding motion. At one time, it was thought that surface roughness of materials was the main cause for friction. In reality, it only has a small effect on friction for most materials. So the ups and downs are also present on the surfaces of the substances which are in contact with each other. These are known as deformations. So deformations are also responsible for causing the friction. Soft material will deform when under pressure. This also increased the resistance to motion. For example, when you stand on a rug, you sink in slightly when causes resistance when you try to drag your feet along the rug surface. Another example is how rubber tires flatten out at the area on contact with the road. When materials deform, you must flow through to move, thus creating a resistive force. When the deformation becomes large, such that one object sinks into the other, streamlining can affect the friction similar to what happens in fluid friction. Now let us know the factors that affect friction, considering some examples. Friction between the two forces depends on the smoothness of the two surfaces in contact. And also friction depends on the nature of the two surfaces in contact. A greater force is required to move the surfaces past each other when they are rough as compared to when they are smooth. Also, it is more difficult to move a heavier object on the ground than a lighter one where the two objects are of the same material. Now we consider another factor, that is the area of contact on friction. As shown in the given diagram, area of contact of the block is different in the two diagrams, but spring balance will show the same reading on pulling. The frictional force appears the same in both cases respect to the area of contact of the two surfaces. So the frictional force is independent of area of contact. It depends upon the nature of the two surfaces in contact. Now let us consider another factor affecting the fluid friction. Frictional force on an object in a fluid depends on its speed with respect to fluid and on the shape of the object and the nature of the fluid. Hence, birds and fishes have special shapes so that they can easily overcome fluid friction. All vehicles are designed to have streamline shapes which reduce fluid friction, that is gas friction or air friction. As example, shape of aeroplane is spindle. Now we know what is normal reaction. Normal reaction is the reaction force exerted by the surface on the body. Frictional resistance forces are typically proportional to the force which presses the surfaces together. This force which will affect frictional resistance is the component of applied force which acts perpendicular or normal to the surfaces which are in contact and is typically referred to as normal force. This normal reaction force is represented by sometimes capital R with arrowhead on its head, that is R bar, capital R bar. In many common situations, the normal force is equal to the just weight of the object when it is lying on the horizontal surface. But if an object is on an inclined plane or has components of applied force perpendicular to the surface, then it is not equal to the weight. So, if you observe these figures, when the body lies on the horizontal surface, here normal reaction force N is equal to, in first figure, mg. This is for an object sitting on a flat surface. The normal force is just equal to its weight, N equal to mg. In the second figure, when the force is applied from left side on the object, but as the weight acts vertically downwards, normal force also acts downwards. Here, the apparent normal force is equal to its weight plus vertical component f sin theta. That is N equal to mg plus f sin theta. So when we push the body in the forward direction, then it requires more force than its weight. Okay? So if a force acts downwards on the object, the normal force is greater than its weight. That is N equal to mg plus F sin theta. When we consider third figure, then force is acting to the right upside. So here force pulls upward on the object. So if a force pulls upward on the object, the normal force is less than the weight, because here resultant normal force is equal to the mg minus F sin theta. So it is easier to pull the body than to push it. From the second and third examples, we observe that it is easier to pull the body. So sometimes lawn rollers are used to pull by the persons who are making ground smooth. When we pull the lawn rollers, then it easily moves when we pull upward side with applying force on the handle in an inclined upward way. Now we consider fourth case, in which the body is placed on an inclined plane surface. So for an object sitting on an inclined plane, the normal force is less than the weight. That is N equal to mg cos theta. That means normal reaction force is balanced by the mg cos theta. That is component of its weight, which is less than the normal force N. So here N is equal to mg cos theta. In the above cases, we observe the commonly encountered situations for objects at rest or in straight line motion. For curved motion, there are cases like a car on a banked curve, where the normal force is determined by the dynamics of the situation. In that case, the normal force depends upon the speed of the car as well as the angle of the bank. Now, let us know the different types of friction. Friction is generally three important types. Now, considering the fluid friction, it are categorized into four types. So, we observe here four types of friction depending upon the types of motion. First one is static friction. Second one is sliding friction or kinetic friction. Third one is rolling friction. Fourth one is fluid friction. Now we know the different types of frictions in detail. Static means rest. So when the body rests on a surface, if we observe the first figure in this PPT, here normal force acting vertically up, normal reaction force R bar is acting vertically upward direction. As the body is rest on another horizontal surface, then gravity works vertically downward, so its weight is also W bar is equal to mg, and normal reaction force R bar is equal to mg bar in this case. As there is no motion either towards right or left, here the body is at rest. So the frictional force presenting between the contacting area of the two surfaces of the surface and body, then the friction present between them is known as static friction. This exists when there is no motion between the two bodies. For example, if we pull the body towards the right with some force as shown in second figure, then if we apply with a force more than its weight, then the body moves towards right. Then friction acts in the left side direction along the line of contact, but force acting in the right side. So at this situation, the frictional force which came into action is known as sliding friction or kinetic friction. So when one body moves on the surface of another body, then the frictional force lies between the surfaces of the contact is known as sliding friction or kinetic friction. Third one is rolling friction. So consider a roller or wheel on horizontal surface. Now normal force is acting vertically up, R bar equal to mg bar equal to its weight. Now force is acting towards right, so that wheel rotates and moves to the right side. In that place, area of the contact is very low, but friction is also in this case very low when compared to static friction and sliding friction. What is static friction? Static friction is defined as the frictional force that acts between the surfaces when they are at rest with respect to each other. The magnitude of the static force is equal in the opposite direction when a small amount of force is applied. When the force increases at some point, maximum static friction is reached. The value of maximum static friction value is known as limiting friction. So limiting friction is the maximum value of static friction. Static friction examples. Skiing against the snow, creating heat by rubbing both hands together, and a table lamp resting on the table, and lying any body on the surface of the table which is in rest are also the example of static friction. Now we know about the coefficients of static friction. Static frictional force is represented by F bar S. It is proportional to the normal reaction. So F bar is equal to F bar S is proportional to R bar, or F bar is equal to mu S into R bar. Here proportionality constant mu S is known as coefficient of static friction. The coefficient of static friction is denoted by mu S. It is defined like this. The maximum force of static friction is given as the product of the coefficient of static friction and normal force, and force of static friction is less than or equal to the product of the coefficient of static friction and normal force. It is given as Fs maximum is equal to mu s into R bar. Where F bar S is the force of static friction or static frictional force, mu s is the coefficient of static friction, and R bar is the normal reaction force. So F bar S maximum is the maximum force of a static friction, which is also known as limiting friction value. Now we know in detail about limiting friction. The amount of friction that can be applied between the two surfaces is limited, and if the forces acting on the body are made sufficiently great, the motion will occur. Hence, we can define limiting friction as the maximum value of static friction that comes into play when the body is just at the point of sliding over the surface of another body. Limiting friction is the product of normal force and the coefficient of limiting friction. Mathematically, it is represented as F equal to mu s into R bar. In this slide shown as F equal to mu into N bar. Here, mu is the coefficient of limiting friction, and it is also represented by mu suffixing L sometimes. And N is the normal force, R bar. The limiting friction is always opposite to the motion of the object. Next, sliding friction. Sliding friction is defined as the resistive force that is created between any two objects when they are sliding against to each other. So if we apply some force on the body which is at rest, then the body moves. If the body moves towards right, then friction acts towards the left along the line of joining the surfaces in contact. Some examples for sliding friction. Sliding of the block across the floor. Another example is two cards sliding against each other in a deck. Now we know about coefficient of sliding friction. Sliding friction or kinetic friction is represented by F bar K. So sliding frictional force or kinetic frictional force, F bar K is directly proportional to the normal reaction force R bar. So F bar S is proportional to R bar, or F bar S is equal to some proportionality constant mu S or mu K into normal reaction force. Here in slide F bar N instead of R bar. So F bar S is, that is sliding frictional force, is equal to sliding friction coefficient mu S into Fn bar, or in some books it is denoted by F bar K is equal to mu K into R bar. Now we know about rolling friction in detail. Rolling friction is defined as the force which resists the motion of a ball or wheel, and it is the weakest types of friction. So as shown in the figure, when a wheel rotates, when we push, then it moves in the right side direction by rolling, and friction acts in the leftward direction, which is very low when compared to static frictional force value or kinetic frictional force value. So static friction is having highest value, and kinetic friction is lesser than the static frictional value, whereas rolling frictional force is very less when compared to the other 2. So mu r F bar rolling, it is denoted by rolling frictional force is denoted by F bar RO. It is greater than Fk. Fk is greater than static frictional force F bar S. Examples of rolling friction. Rolling of the log on the ground. Next, wheels of the moving vehicles. And lawn roller motion is also an example of rolling friction. Now we know about coefficient of rolling friction. Coefficient of rolling friction is denoted by mu RO. The force of rolling friction is defined as the product of coefficient of rolling friction mu RO and the normal force F bar N. So it is denoted as F bar RO is equal to mu RO into F bar N, or in some books it is written as F bar RO equal to mu RO into R bar. Now we know about the laws of friction. Generally, the frictional force depend upon the nature of the two surfaces in contact. When the object is moving, the force of friction is proportional to the normal force N bar or R bar, and it is perpendicular to the normal force N bar or R bar. Friction is independent of the area of contact so long as there is an area of contact. Coefficient of static friction is slightly greater than the coefficient of kinetic friction. This coefficient of friction value varies from 0 to 1. For smooth surfaces, coefficient of friction value is equal to 0, and when we consider the maximum value of friction is equal to 1 in the case of static friction. So within rather larger limits, kinetic friction is independent of velocity. Friction depends on the nature of the two surfaces which are in contact with each other, and it is independent of temperature. And this loss of friction also considered as three types: loss of static friction, and loss of kinetic friction, and loss of rolling friction. So in the case of static frictional force, it is directly proportional to the normal reaction force R bar. So F bar S is proportional to R bar or N bar. In the case of kinetic friction, the kinetic frictional force F bar S is directly proportional to the normal reaction force N bar or R bar. In the case of rolling friction, the rolling frictional force F bar RO is directly proportional to the normal reaction force F bar RO is directly proportional to R bar or N bar. So F bar RO is equal to mu RO into N bar. Now let us know about the advantages of friction. Friction is responsible for many types of motion. Without friction, we can't live. Friction is considered as necessary force in our daily life. It helps us to walk on the ground on our foot. Brakes in a car makes use of friction to stop the car. Asteroids are burned in the atmosphere before reaching the earth due to friction. It helps in the generation of heat when we rub with the hands. A matchstick is fired due to friction. Knots can be tied due to friction. Friction enables us to hold the objects with our fingers. Now we consider some disadvantages of friction. Friction produces the unnecessary heat leading to the wastage of energy. So some electric power is wasted to overcome the friction. The force of friction acts in the opposite direction of motion. So friction slows down the motion of the moving objects. Forest fires are caused due to the friction between the tree branches. A lot of money goes into preventing friction and the usual wear and tear of the machines caused by it by using the techniques like greasing and oil. And extra energy is required to overcome the friction among the parts of the machines. Due to this friction, mechanical energy is transferred from one rolling part of the machine to another rolling part of the machine through the belts. So during this process, heat is produced due to friction between the rotating parts of the machine and damages it. So wear and wear and tear of the machinery parts caused due to the friction. Now we know about the methods of reducing friction. Streamlining the shape of the automobiles, we can reduce air friction, and by using oil and grease, we can reduce the friction, and by using anti-frictional metals between the rotating parts, we can reduce friction, and by using oils, grease, we can reduce friction. By using ball bearings also, we can reduce friction in rotatory parts like in fans or vehicle wheels. Okay, let us close the topic. If you have any doubt, you contact with me. Thank you.